It's for the installation of beams for the new Reunion Parkway Bridge. An update on the 3-year-old shot in the head in Yazoo City. Police now say that happened Saturday morning on Barnwell Street in Yazoo, and cops didn't know about it until they got a call from the hospital there in Yazoo City. That child was at UMMC for treatment. Still no update on the child's condition. Child Protective Services now involved in the investigation. July 1st is the day. Jackson will celebrate its new mayor and council with a day of events starting at 8 with a prayer service at the Jackson Convention Complex. Mayor-elect John Horn and the council will be sworn in at 11, and the day's events conclude with an inaugural gala that starts at 7 p.m., and you are invited to all of those festivities. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WIAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
Welcome to the Chip Matthews Show, where politics meets the South. So grab your sweet tea, find a comfortable spot to sit back, and let's embark on this journey together. Chip away, jump away.
And good Tuesday morning. Chip Matthews program. This is the 6 a.m. version. Then there's another version at 9 o'clock. We'll have our friend Fred Cerami in with us at that time. But good morning to y'all. You need to be leaving the house just a few minutes early. It is raining left and right. It was raining hard for a second there. I was going, what is that? Is the air conditioner going crazy here? No. Alderman meeting today in Canton at 4:30 p.m. Wonder what they got done at the work session yesterday. Good morning, Irene. Good morning, Debbie Bergansky. And something hit me yesterday. I was sitting there thinking about that ditch they've been working on forever in front of my house, which, of course, today, as I was taking out my garbage, I tripped over some wire they left on the ground, cut my legs all up. I guess that's my fault. But anyway. That's what's going on. Good morning, Anita Porter. Everybody checking in early. Y'all getting up early. Woo. And Jolynn. Good morning, my peeps. Okay, so where are we going to start today? Let's start with these people that hate America. Let's start with those people. You know, freedom in America is... what we are, why we're here. We're here. We have individual freedoms. Okay. That means each one of us have rights. And we're the only country in the world that allows an individual to have rights. Yes, I understand. I've been up too since 4 a.m. But the individuals that have rights, that's what makes you an American. That's why people want to come here. They want those individual rights. Okay? That all men are created equal. You know, that's something that the other countries don't have. And they get jealous because it works here and people want to move here. But you got to move here the right way. And then those people that are here, remember, those, and I'm talking basically to the white liberals who all went down to the Capitol in different places, got paid $200 in most cases to show up on the No King's Day celebration. Well, those people hate America. Now, you're allowed to hate all you want. That is a freedom you enjoy. But you're not allowed to harm America. Because collectively, we don't allow that. So remember that when you're thinking about hate and harm. I mean, when you, and then since each person has rights in America, that's part of being an American. You have individual rights, innocent till proven guilty. But when you spit on an officer, or you throw a rock at an officer, or you throw a firework at an officer, you are then not only attacking America, you're attacking the rights of that individual who is an American. And he has the right to whoop your ass. Exactly. That's the way it should be. That is when you encounter them. Now, what we got to do is we have got to get rid of these judges that we put in place who don't understand America, individual rights. When people do things wrong, they're to be punished. That is why the judge is there. So, judges, get off your butts and start earning your paycheck. If you're working for George Soros, I'm sure you're going to get caught sooner or later. Some of you judges that just, and look, when somebody kills somebody, the bond isn't supposed to be where they can get out and try to figure something out. No. If somebody kills somebody, you put a high bond on them. That's just the way it should be. You know? And these people, murderers shouldn't get out and then be able to commit murder again in the same week. That's just insane. Good morning, Irene. But I mean, we've got to start doing a better job of protecting American rights. Each one of us have the right to say what we want, do what we want, until we cross over the line and we fall into somebody else's individual rights. Because everybody here has the same rights. Do you understand what freedom is? Do you understand civil rights? That means everybody has the same rights. You know, civil rights don't give you any more rights. It's just another way to make everybody happy politically by calling them civil rights, but they're no different than every other American's rights. And I once had a conversation with James Meredith. Yes, the James Meredith. And we've conversed several times. And he says what he was fighting for were individual rights. He wanted equal rights. He wasn't talking about civil rights, a different set of laws to govern everybody. It's equal rights. It's I'm a man, you're a man, you know? And if we get back to that you have a right, you know, we allow everybody to be a part of whatever they want and say whatever they want, gather in different groups to do whatever they want, under whatever society they want to be. And you're allowed to do that all day until you cross the line. And the line is anytime you attack or your group attacks someone, individual rights, then then the line is not blurred. It's you've committed a crime. And crime in America is punished. And so that's what we need to get back to doing. Judges must punish people who cross the line. When you cross the individual rights. Okay. So then the government sets up these things that we can do. I mean, if it's your right to do to make whiskey, well, that's not your right. You know, you just really can't do some of those things. You can't open up a still and start selling that because we tax that. So that the government getting involved way back when they got involved in all of our rights, they put us in a precarious situation to where they needed to make some money. So they wanted to tax something. So they taxed alcohol, right? That's just the way it goes. But as we look at these individual rights, at what point have you crossed the line? So we went through in alcohol, we have a set of laws for that. When I look at the laws for marijuana, let's look at this. Medical marijuana, to me, and I may be wrong. Somebody correct me if I am wrong. Okay. 601-879-0002. But if I am in public. Now, there are laws against smoking cigarettes in public. You know, that actually exists. I don't know if it's enforced, but it actually exists. So if I'm riding in my car and I get pulled over and my car smells like pot, and you have people in the car that flash a medical marijuana card, what is the situation then? Are they doing the right thing? Are they smoking it medically? Is when the secondhand smoke or odor gets to me, at that time, have you invaded my individual rights? I mean, that's the question. That's my question this morning. At what point have you invaded my rights when you are smoking medical marijuana? See, I don't smoke dope. It's not my thing. I understand when Bill Clinton said he couldn't inhale. I understand. Can't inhale. But I have eaten a gummy, and I started walking across the floor, and my legs disappeared. I ate a gummy by accident one day. And then somebody says, "You eat more than one gummy?" I said, "Isn't that candy?" "No, that's gummies." I went, "Oh." And next thing you know, I was army crawling across the floor and everything at the house. And he says, "You need to go to sleep." And I was just like going, "I can as soon as they quit shooting at me." And he's going, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I don't know. They shot me and I've lost everything below my waist." Oh, it was good stuff. Good morning, Carl C. But anyway, at what point when you're in a car have you broken the law when you're smoking, when your pot smoke comes toward me? At what point in the law have you invaded my privacy again with music, with language that is unbecoming public scrutiny? Nothing that I could play on the radio here because it's got bad language in it. So I used to know there was a noise ordinance, but let's say noise ordinance, you're not too loud, but I'm having to hear foul language come into my car. At what point is that illegal? And at what point are you invading my individual rights? Because as an American, that's all we have are individual rights. Each person in America, that's why we're here. We have individual rights. They don't have that anywhere else in the world. Individual rights. Each one of us are our own boss. That's why we have a vote. And when we choose not to be a boss and use our vote, we get this other crap. But anyway, we're going to take a quick break. Good morning, Jimmy Rogers. I say exactly. But what I find is that most police won't do anything. They claim it is their right if they have a card. Lawmakers make a clean air or foul smell ordinance. Well, in Jackson, they shut down bars from having smoking in them. Yeah. And so if there is no cigarette smoke in there anymore, good morning, Don McKenzie. If there is no smoke law in effect, when you walk in a bar and it smells like nothing but pot from one end to the other, what does that mean? Does that mean they're smoking? Yes, it means they're smoking. But anyway, we'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show. Chime in if you would like, 601-879-0002. Good morning to y'all. 879-0002. Good morning to you.
1039 WYAB.
If you're a parent or grandparent, you should know that even though Mississippi is ranked as the unhealthiest state in the country, we have the highest vaccination rate for our children and grandchildren. Many of us blindly trust the medical establishment, and now it's time to question vaccine safety. Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights is a grassroots organization working to educate the public and lawmakers about this important topic. Be informed. Go to mpvr.org. Like us on Facebook to stay up to date on the latest information. That's Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights, mpvr.org.
Would you like a free ice cream? Head on over to Bumpers Drive-In on Highway 49 in Flora. If you're craving a juicy made-to-order burger and crispy golden fries, if you want to taste the best hand-breaded chicken tenders you've ever had, if you want a hand-mixed milkshake or a whirl with Nutter Butters, Oreos, then bump on into Bumpers Drive-In in Flora. Exclusively at the Flora location. Mention you heard them on WYAB and you'll receive a free frosty ice cream with your order.
Efficient and trouble-free payroll processing is crucial to a business's success, and a lot of businesses are struggling with it. PeopleLease, a local payroll provider, not only offers top-of-the-line software, but also provides on-demand payroll support services. With PeopleLease, you're never on your own at every step of your payroll process. PeopleLease has the expertise in managing payroll challenges and will work hard to understand your business and employees. That's what makes PeopleLease the perfect choice for you and your business. Learn more online at peoplelease.com.
Attention homeowners and business owners. Complete Exteriors is now Elite Roofing and Gutters. Are your roof and gutters storm ready? The folks at Elite are your local experts in storm protection. Now is the time for an inspection and for proactive solutions that ensure your roof and gutters can withstand any storm. Get up to a possible $250 rebate on a new roofing system for all active military, veterans, and retirees. Online at EliteRoofer.com.
Y'all come see us at Flora Animal Hospital, your trusted hometown vet. We offer a wide variety of veterinary services, including boarding. Dr. Kaylee McCary is a Madison County native who has been serving the Flora community and surrounding areas since 2013. She leads our team of highly trained and compassionate women. We are located at 740 Highway 49 in the Cotton Exchange Plaza. Call us today at 601-879-3222. At Flora Animal Hospital, we treat your pets like our own.
Hey, this is John with MES. That's Mississippi Energy Services. We sell, service, and install all makes and models of home and business generators. One thing that we do different than a lot of other companies is we do all the work ourselves. We don't use subcontractors. We go from the original estimate, the design, to the final product. That way we can control the quality of the job from the beginning to the end. We are online at msenergy.us.
Craving something extraordinary in Jackson? Manship Restaurant is where your taste buds hit the jackpot. Join us for happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. where your wallet will thank you and your stomach will sing. Indulge in half-price wood-fired pizzas because why pay full price for half the fun? And for just $5, dive into our private barrel bourbon picks. That's right, luxury on a budget. Plus, beat the heat with our frozen drink special, a tropical escape without the travel expenses. Make your way to the Manship where happy hour isn't just a time, it's an experience.
Pet emergencies don't wait, so why should you? At Urge Vet Emergency Vets of Madison, we offer low wait times and cutting-edge technology to provide fast, expert care for all household pets. Our hours of operation are weeknights 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. and 24 hours on weekends and holidays. Our phone number is 601-790-1918 and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Because when it comes to your pet's health, trust the team that's fast, reliable, and compassionate.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
And we're back on a Tuesday morning, rainy, wet roads everywhere. Everybody be careful. And before we get back to our subject matter of the morning, Governor Tim Walz, y'all know who he is, the guy that wanted to be vice president, glad hands. To me, he looked like whenever he came out anywhere, he was Mickey Mouse. He was up and waving. He has deleted every post where he praised the assassin Vance Boltley, the guy that did all the killing the other day. Now, y'all do know that Governor Tim Walz came out earlier that day before the murders had occurred and told everybody that they needed to push back against Trump and this, that, and the other for the no King's holiday, and just talking about violence and everywhere everybody needed to push back. But now, this is what it says. If Governor Tim Walz has indeed erased public praise of the man now known for unspeakable violence, then let it be a sign, not of repentance, but of panic. The fruit of a man's heart is revealed not only in what he says, but in what he tries to cover. Paul the Apostle on X or Twitter. But yeah, this guy, Tim Walz and his group of Democratic activists who are dancing to the tune of somebody like Soros's money are out to get rid of our individual rights. I don't know what they want. I mean, they want wealth for themselves, because most of these Democratic activists are always on the side of who's getting the money, and then they squander it. They'll have a party for whatever, wherever, spend billions and millions and trillions of dollars. And they bring it, and I'm sure at these parties they're bringing in all the 300,000 children that disappeared from the immigration camp, and bring them in for their parties because they're all crazy. Yes, they're all crazy. Oh, Chip, they have individual rights. No, they don't. No, they don't. Those are kids. But anyway, good morning to Timothy Jenkins and Marilyn and Rob Endress. Everybody checking in. Now back to what I was talking about. So now Jimmy Rogers is right here. Shouldn't drive impaired, period. So is secondhand smoke from marijuana in a car, does it affect the other people in the car? Well, let's see. I want to say in sometime in my lifetime that somebody used to do a shotgun, whatever that is, and you put it in your mouth and you turn it backwards and you blow back out of it and smoke goes everywhere. That would be secondhand smoke, wouldn't it? Sort of. I don't know. So maybe secondhand smoke is bad. I think the state legislature needs to get off their butts and do some more. Now, of course, I have one senator who is opinionated, has his own magazine and everything. Good morning, Bud Fortner. Or not magazine, TV. He gets on to me the other day online and says, Chip, don't you be talking about energy. Don't you be saying that. People are going to believe that energy is worried more about Amazon than the citizens of Canton. Well, yes. There's a big, and I talked about that solar farm on 43 in Canton. Huge. That got slipped in there that nobody knew about it. It got there. I don't know when it got there. I don't know how it got there, but once it was built, it's there. And I don't know who it supplies. So I said, that's probably what they're going to put Canton on when energy's running low at Amazon. Yeah, these servers take a ton of power. There's no denying that. And it takes a ton of water to cool them. So don't ever think that we don't need to be concerned about where our power is coming from. They've already talked about grid burnouts and this, that, and the other, and rotating power. Those are things of our future in the next 3 or 4 years. And yes, the guy comes on TV and goes, we can't tell you the rate that we're selling power to Amazon for. We can't tell you that. But it'll increase, it will help y'all's cost because it'll come down. But what we're talking about is our bills going up $90 a piece a month to build Amazon, to build all of this and being open-ended. And for there to be some kind of line in there that says that the Public Service Commission doesn't have control over it. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Good morning, Lloyd Travis. I mean, come clean. Don't get up there. I mean, this reminds me, okay, everything that's going on in the world today reminds me of when I first started in radio back 100 years ago. Well, at least 40 years ago, or 45, 50. But anyway, the Ayatollah was in a situation in Iran was going on. And we got in trouble for putting a song out against MPNL that we redid the song Mickey. And it had to do with Public Service Commission and MPNL fighting each other. Of course, we got into big trouble because we were owned by an oil company, and our boss called us up and said, look, y'all have $1 million lawsuit against y'all. Y'all better find every copy of that record y'all pressed And we had put it in Totems. So if y'all remember what Totem stores were, we had it everywhere. And we had sold copies of it. And we were in trouble. And our boss told us to get every one of them back. And I know that we got all of the ones. We didn't get the ones back that we sold. I wished I could find a copy of it. I used to have a copy. But we had a song that we did talking, and it mentioned everybody's name in it and how they were just pushing up rates. And I believe that we won that public service debate. But we've got to do better. But what do we do about these people when they pull up next to you? And I got a car dropping F-bombs, F-bomb, 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 bad things about women, bad things about women, bad things about women, F-bomb, 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 various sexual acts being described. And, that's, in the right context, I guess that is one of those individual freedoms that we have in America, that you can enjoy all those things. But once you cross the line, and like where Jolene's here saying the music is offensive and too loud and vibrating my window panes. Well, when they vibrate your window panes at your house, they are breaking the law, because there is a sound ordinance in most cities of what you can and cannot do. But people don't care about that. I'm basically talking about pulling up next to a car. I mean, y'all, you can pull up to a car and be in single file line, seven deep, and all you smell is pot everywhere. Then you hear the boom, boom, boom. Then you hear the bad language, and you're going, why do I have to put up with this? And I mean, this is stuff that if my mom was alive and in the car with me, I would be embarrassed for some of the language. I mean, there are TV shows that I could not sit down with my mother and watch due to concepts of what they're putting out on the TV. The society has gone off the rails. And I'm not the fun police, although once in my life I was accused that by Clay Edwards of being the fun police. But the reality is individual rights and why we are Americans. Every American has individual rights. And when you cross that line, you have broken the law. You've endangered yourself. Now, as far as the people from other countries that come here, you're not an American. Just because you get on the soil, that doesn't make you an American. That also means because you're on this soil, you do not have any. We will give you your human rights, but you don't have American rights. You don't have the rights. And that's where the confusion keeps coming out. Democrats need to realize, as a human being, yes, we recognize that you have a right to be alive and breathing and all of that, and eat, and then we will offer aid and comfort. But it's not our job to continue to keep you here if you are breaking the law to be here. That's what I'm getting at. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right here on the Chip Matthews program on WYAB. We'll be back right here on the Chip Matthews program on WYAB.
1039 WYAB.
Hey everybody, it's Johnny Two Gun Tactical. We're having Kim Wade Wednesdays at both locations. So you come in and mention Kim Wade on a Wednesday, you get half price range fees. Hey, if you're a member, we're going to give you an extra free target just for mentioning Kim Wade Show. Come on in and work on your shooting and exercise that 2A right that if we don't fight for it, we won't have it much longer. It's twoguntactical.com. That's the number 2guntactical.com.
School's out, and McBee's in Ridgeland is the perfect place for family fun this summer. Enjoy our famous $12 Blue Plate specials every Monday through Friday, and now kids eat for just $5. That's right, just $5. Bring out the whole crew and enjoy our huge patio with lots of TVs, plenty of fans, and a safe space where kids can play while you kick back and relax. Family friendly, budget friendly and always a good time. McBee's Bar and Grill, buzzing the res since 1982. Check out McBee's Bar and Grill on Facebook for today's special.
CBS News Brief. President Trump is back at the White House after cutting short a stop at the G7 summit in Canada to keep tabs on the Israel-Iran conflict. Israeli-American Lehi Greiner lives in Petah Tikva, which was hit by a missile yesterday.
I'm not prepared for any terror. I'm not prepared. We don't want terror. Israelis don't want terror. We want peace.
Before he left Canada, Mr. Trump signed a trade agreement with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
The relationship that we have is fantastic. So I just want to congratulate you.
The death toll from severe flooding in West Virginia is up to 6, with 2 people still missing, as many others return to find homes damaged and destroyed. CBS's Tom Hansen.
They are reacting with shock and disbelief. A lot of them say that they don't even recognize this area, but they are still trying to sift through some parts of the rubble in order to get anything that they can out.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Hi, this is Lee Atkins of Home Care Plus in Ridgeland. We are a proud carrier of Abena Premium Incontinence products. Abena has the most absorbency available, making changes and leaks less likely. After 7 years as a seller, I can tell you these products are amazing and worth every penny to quality of life for patient and caregiver. And we ship all incontinence products as well. So please come see us at Home Care Plus in Ridgeland for all the incontinence needs of you or your family member. That's Home Care Plus in Ridgeland.
If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
We all love the farm-to-table food concept, right? Well, at Burnt Corn Farm, they bring you locally grown flowers straight from the farm to the vase. With a wide selection of flowers and excellent service, Burnt Corn Farm will make your next party or shower a southern delight. Sign up for a monthly bouquet subscription, and their farm-fresh flowers will brighten your days all season long. You can also book your next family photo session in their wildflower field. That's Burnt Corn Farm on Facebook and Instagram.
When you want your pine trees to grow a little happier and a lot healthier, call on Holcomb Aerial Service. When your crops need dusting, think Holcomb Aerial Service. From the farm to your own pine forest, Holcomb Aerial Service will stimulate growth, eradicate pests, and preserve the value of your crops. Call Holcomb Aerial Service at 601-668-6200. That's 601-668-6200.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
And we're back today on the Chip Matthews program Tuesday morning. It's wet out there on the ground, in and out rain all day, I understand. So y'all be careful out there. Also, remember, this morning it's a Tuesday, so that means I'll be back at 9 o'clock also with my good friend Fred Cerami, and we're going to talk politics and things going on. We'll even talk about a few of our old friends in the restaurant business around that are doing what they do wherever they are, because, you know, we all support local and we all go out and eat. And Fred seems to be the best source for me to stir up and remember some people and some things that we used to have and things that we don't have anymore in the Jackson area. And I enjoy the conversation. I enjoyed the conversation. And he and I are constantly looking at what's going on in the politics, and he's always been into that. And of course, y'all always known that he is his Christian values. And woo, Fred's just strong, y'all. Fred is what I mean. Fred is what an American is supposed to be like. And he is an Italian, a proud Italian American. Yes, he is. Okay, so let's get back to this. Okay. So when are your individual rights not your rights anymore? When are they? I mean, I'm asking you. When people invade your rights, and what can we do? I mean, if judges don't do what they're supposed to do once a law enforcement officer comes that far, and look, we don't have enough police to help us do what we need to do. There are law enforcement out there, and many of them listen to this show, and I thank every one of them every day for being out there and doing what they do and putting up with the crap that they put up with from the people that are allegedly their bosses. Those are the people that hire them. Those are the cities that employ them, or the governments that employ them, and then do not support them, do not give them what they need to do their job. Do not get, I mean, in some cases, in order to do their jobs, they need more numbers of people out there. And as I go through money that is wasted on different things, I just go, the first thing we got to do is be safe. Second thing we have to do is we have to enforce these laws to make sure that the individual rights of each person are maintained. When you break a law for speeding, that is, you have that right to break that law. But we have put that law in place for the safety of others as things change in the world, and you should be pulled over. Now, when you pull over a police car, a police car pulls your car over and it smells like pot coming out of it. Well, I don't know about y'all, but normally I take my medication, and I would say this is 90% of the people, when they're at home or at work or at their desk, they take their medicine at one time. And they don't ride around smoking their medication. And I understand that you have a right to do what you do, but you cannot be under the influence. I mean, I'm not allowed to take a whole bunch of Zoloft and then get in the car and go driving and thinking that I'm going to make it to wherever I'm going. I can promise you that. You know, that's not the way it works. When you're under the influence of a narcotic, of any medicine, you're not supposed to be driving. That don't mean that when you get in that car that you should be smoking pot as a passenger. I mean, that is the law. And then to show you the same way it works is when you're listening to music in a car and you're invading other people's territory with bad language and that, you have broken the law there also. This is the way it is. And there's no way humanly possible right now to enforce any of these laws. Otherwise, they wouldn't have time to catch the other crooks and criminals and the murderers. We're a nation that doesn't want to take care of each other anymore. We don't care about what somebody else says. We want ours. And that's the way the politician thinks. The politician thinks all the money, it's like our congressman up there right now. They want to get all the money they can. You know, never mind that that Doge some of our money out of us and said, you can't have that. Oh, you can take it from everybody else, but you can't take it from us in Mississippi. We just don't have nothing here. We can't live. We're barely educated here. The Mississippi Miracle says we're educated now. We went way up the charts, if you want to believe that. And everybody here is more educated now than, what are we, number 18 in the country? Whew, we're so much smarter than everybody else now. We're not going to need any money because we're smart enough to get ourselves out of this. No, Benny's going to sit there and say, we got to have that money. And then our two senators and our other representatives are going to fall in right behind Benny. Benny's their leader. That's what it appears to be. Benny is the leader of the Republicans we send to Washington, because you never hear them say anything bad about their or any conflict about what Benny says. Roger Wicker would never, ever talk back to Benny. I can promise you that. Cindy Hyde, she's a woman. She'll say something every once in a while. She'll snip, but she's not going to ever go against Benny. Nobody seems to go against Benny. Nobody, I've heard only the governor say some derogatory comments about Benny, but that was in a room full of Republicans at the Republican convention this past year. He acted like that Benny was the wart that needed to go away. And we all agree with that. But nobody has done anything to try to make that happen. They just make his district bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Sooner or later, Benny will control the whole state. And that'll be that. I mean, he's got 30 counties. They're up there trying to split another county up there right now, up there in North Mississippi. And I'm sure Delbert will make sure it happens. That's what he does. And whatever deal we made with Benny years ago, y'all don't make that for our future because, that is, although he gets a lot of money here, we give $1 to the United States, we get back $2.48. That's a hell of a deal. I wish they would just let us take our paycheck and let it go to Washington with them, send our whole paycheck up there and get back 1.5 times the money on it. That's 250%. We could all live then. We could all live like millionaires. Woo, doggy. We could live great. I could probably find me a Feist dog to have on the air if those people remember a guy on the radio that had a Feist dog. Yeah, that would be cool to have a everyday person on the air or a dog on the air with me. But anyway, we got to do something. We got to do more than what's going on. The Madison County supervisors had a little meeting yesterday, and in their meeting, if you watched it on the news, they were up there talking about we got to get 6 lanes. We got to get 6 lanes to Gluckstadt. Y'all, the people in Madison County are coming. This place, Megasite, is in Canton. They don't want to say Canton because Canton is a black eye to the project. The city is an embarrassment. I am from that city, and I wish that we could straighten up. And hopefully over time we will straighten up. And beginning July 1st, when the new administration comes in, the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. And many of you have been there for a long time. And Mr. Experience that's sitting in the big chair now, the pressure's on you. And I hope that you realize that. Nothing bad for you, Tim, but I want you to think about it, Mayor Tim. You've got to fix everything in Canton. And your alderman, which as you ran, you said we got alderman, you've got inexperienced alderman, and then you have no alderman there that seems to be a leader. You're the closest thing to a leader because you got out and ran for mayor. But there are no leaders among our current aldermen, in my opinion. I don't care what you think about anyone individually. None of them have gone out and done anything. They're there to do administrative things, but you have not sat out to do things. Like, for instance, the Palm Bridges situation in Jackson. Palm Bridges, they got together in their area, and they raised money, and they redid their park out of their pocket. Not out of the city's pocket, out of their pocket. Now, that only happens because there's some people that care about their property values and what's going on around them. In Canton, that does not exist. Because, I got to thinking today, who are the people redoing this ditch that comes through on Sim Street? Who's redoing that ditch? If we have no public works, or the people that used to be on public works, and this is what I'm going to look into, are they the ones that used to, the people doing my ditch are individual contractors now? So if they don't work for Public Works, but now they have a contract with Public Works, is that a way they got a raise or something to do this? I don't know. I'm asking. I'm putting that out there. I'm trying to understand who gave who a contract and who is doing the work, because I see who's doing the work. And this morning, I tripped over your rusty metal out in the driveway that was cleaned up twice by myself and all of that. But the people of don't think you have the ability to lead Well, I understand. I didn't say I could lead. Tavarius. I said the weight of the position is all about the people that can lead in the future. Yeah, you need to, I guess that's what you're trying to say. But good morning to you. Glad to see you're listening. Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll be back for our final segment here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. Final segment here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB.
1039 WYAB.
Can't take your team out to lunch? Have lunch brought to your team with Mangia Bene Catering. You already know Mangia Bene. They're the masterminds behind Broad Street Bakery, Bravo Italian Restaurant, and Sal and Mookie's. And now Mangia Bene wants to feed your office of 10, 100, or even 1,000. Delicious box lunches, salads, sandwiches. We even do breakfast. Take your next lunch meeting up a level. Mangia Bene Catering. Call Mangia Bene to get started. 601-362-2900. That's 601-362-2900.
Dr. Mike Stonington here from Stonington Farm Grass-Fed Beef. We are grass-fed and grass-finished beef. No hormones, no antibiotics, no grain, no broad spraying of herbicides or pesticides. And never, I mean never, do we use mRNA vaccines. We are 100% local and 100% Mississippi. Our calves are born in Mississippi, raised on Stonington Farm, and processed in Mississippi. Contact us at StoningtonFarm.com. That's StoningtonFarm.com with 2 N's. We are the grass-fed difference.
The weather is heating up and the deals are even hotter at Mazda of Jackson. Right now at Mazda of Jackson, you can drive home your dream Mazda with low financing rates available. 2.9% for 72 months on most models, or finance 36 months and pay just 0.9%. That's right, 0.9%. Experience Mazda's exhilarating performance, top-notch safety, and reliability. It's time to choose Mazda. Shop online at MazdaofJackson.com or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road in Jackson.
Well, I'm sitting here today with one of my favorite clients, Reggie Brumfield. The first time I believe we worked together was around 25 years ago, wasn't it, Reggie?
I remember that time. My wife, Kathy, and I we were looking for a home. He sold that house to us, and when we got ready to buy another home, he helped us sell that home and buy another home. So 25 years later, when we decided to purchase another home, your name was the only one in our minds.
601-720-4037. RitaJensen.net.
The best investment on earth is earth. This is real estate agent Shane Saxton. As I like to say, the government can print more money, but they can't print more land. In the past 2 years, I've sold over $100 million in real estate. Call me today to get your land and home sold, because Saxton Sales isn't just a slogan. It's backed up by hundreds of satisfied clients just like you.
Find one of Mississippi's top real estate agents, Shane Saxton, on Facebook, or call Shane at 601-540-5040. Hopper Property, 601-724-1435.
If you ever been stuck on the side of the road with engine trouble or because of an accident, you know how frustrating that can be. I'm Chad Stevens of Chad Stevens Wrecker Service. We'll help take some of the stress out of the stressful situation. We've been rated by AAA as one of the top 10 towing services in the entire USA. Why? Well, just ask our customers. So keep our number in your cell phones and call us if you need us. 662-755-8645. That's Chad Stevens Wrecker Service. 662-755-8645.
Why don't you mind your own business?
Mind my own business? What's that supposed to mean?
No, I was just thinking about all of the news of tax changes, insurance changes, regulations that are being passed down to business owners. I don't have the time to keep growing and to keep up with changing payroll regulations.
I know. It seems like all I do is handle employee-related problems.
You know, I hear PeopleLease can help.
How can they help?
PeopleLease can handle our payroll, taxes, employee benefits, and workers' compensation. They even offer an affordable and customizable 401k program and a 24/7 online human resources support center for all my HR needs.
Think of all the time we'll save letting PeopleLease handle our payroll and benefits administration. I'll be busy growing my business and letting PeopleLease take care of the rest.
Sounds like a good business plan with PeopleLease.
Let PeopleLease mind your business so you can mind your own business. Call now, 601-987-3025. That's 601-987-3025. Or visit freepayrollquotes.com for your free quote.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
And we're back here on a wet Tuesday. What's the number to the radio station? 601-879-0002, but it ain't gonna do you any good. This time the call that you want to make to Various is got to be 9 o'clock. Call back at 9 o'clock because we'll have time then because you're up against the break here. But anyway, individual rights. People, you know, I'm not on here talking about me losing a campaign. I am on here talking about individual rights and what is about to happen on July the 1st. I'm talking about the people that have been elected are now going to be held accountable for the things that they can or cannot do. And my only thing is not to knock anybody. It's to say that these people have been there all this time and together, and they don't understand that nothing has been done before. So why is it going to be done now? Now, on the subject of Joe Lynn Michael there on the former Farmer Jim Neal and his Feist dog, maybe I should bring back the Pet Parade. Do you remember Pet Parade? I remember the song. I got to find that song. It was a whistled song. And then I could bring back Pet Parade. I probably could get a sponsor for the Pet Parade too. I ought to do that. We're going to look at it. Wrote that down. Pet Parade. Farmer Jim Nail here on WSLI. Yeah, that was good stuff back in the day. You know, the people, it's not bad to remember when things were better. It's not, it's not sinful. It's not harmful. Tavarius, the phone line is open. I just can't put you on the air. We don't have enough time. You talk too long. You only got 2 minutes. I'm not dodging you, but I'll put the phone number up for you anytime you want. I'll write it right here in the comments. But, you know, we got fireworks coming up. We got them everywhere all over town. Some cities are already abandoning them for the 4th of July because of the gunfire. I guess where you can tell the difference. You know, in Jackson, they're planning a big celebration in that weekend. It looked like, I think they said they were going to swear in on the 4th. I got to check that out again. But if that's the case, God help us. I mean, the gunfire will, that'll be the last time they make that mistake out in public, because the gunfire is just awful. Y'all, we got to do some things. Y'all come back at 9. I'm sick. You coming at 10. Okay, you can look. Come on, Tavarius, you call me back at 9. I'm not afraid of you, and I'm not afraid of anything you're going to say, because you don't seem to gather the information of what I'm saying. I'm saying he's been elected mayor. He's got to blank or get off the pot. It's time. It's time. But what I'm also saying is he's been there for 7 years and he hadn't done anything. He hasn't been a leader other than cleaning up the neighborhood. And that's good. Cleaning up is good, especially if you're a part of the same group of people that got rid of the public works department. I mean, don't make it a personal attack. These aren't personal attacks. He is in the limelight. He is going to be the mayor. These are what people want. He was elected because he said he could fix these things. We're fixing to have our own garbage contract in a few days in Canton, right? Okay, we can't find people to work a public works department. Who's going to run the garbage department then? Sanitation. We're going to open up a new sanitation department. We got somebody to drive the trucks already. We got people to pick up the garbage. Whoo! I just don't understand it. I don't understand why people don't understand that. It seems like you cannot push back against anybody in office or supporting someone because they just don't know. A lot of ignorance out there of what is going on and what I'm here to do. That's my job. The Clay Edwards Show is next right here on WYAB. I'll be back at 9 o'clock, and I hope Tavarius is too.